Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video we're going to check out Sackboy, A Big Adventure. Hey guys, real quick, before we jump into the review, just want to congratulate our last big winner from the Marvel's Avengers giveaway. Shout out to them, and kind of segueing into that, we are also doing a giveaway for Sackboy, A Big Adventure here on the channel. All you have to do to win this is, one, you got to be a subscriber, and then comment down below just what your favorite game this year has been. I know there's been a lot of crazy good games this year, but yeah, just be a subscriber, comment down below what your favorite game so far this year was, and we'll choose a winner soon. And without further ado guys, let's just jump right into the video. So just like with all my videos, I do a big list of the pros and cons. This is Sackboy Big Adventure. It's a branch off of Little Big Planet, which I played a little bit back on like the PS3, a little bit, but I never really got super into them. And I saw this one and it looked fun. It was kind of like one of their showcase for the PS5, and so I finally got it, and yeah, it was actually really fun. This is like Sony's version of like Mario. It's very similar to, I think it's super similar to Mario. It's a platformer. Like even the camera angles, a lot of things are super similar. So going with some of the pros that I really enjoyed about this game is the level design. Every level was super fun and super different. And even though this seems more like a littler, like kid type game, there were definitely some levels that were pretty challenging. There's a few of them that I got game overs on that took me 2 or 3 tries to beat. So it's not like every level is super easy and oh, you could just jump through the whole thing and no big deal. But yeah, so overall level design was really great. There's like 5 different worlds that you go to throughout the game, each one having its own like little theme, but just being different in their levels. Like the first one is just the normal starting world, I forget what they called it, but then the second one was more of like a tropical area, and then the third one was under the sea, I believe. There was like an outer space one, and then there was like the center of the universe type thing. So they all had like their own little themes. Super fun. Some levels, like I said, were actually pretty challenging. The next little bullet point that I put here is that the music for this game was so good. Although this isn't the type of game that you would be able to do like a live stream with. There was a lot of like copyrighted music. Like there's this one level that had a oh shoot, what's it? I don't know, just popular songs. I'm drawing a blank on his name now. But yeah, all the music was super good, very relaxing, very upbeat in some of the levels. So I really enjoyed a lot of the music. I don't think all of it was popular songs. There was a few, like there's Bruno Mars. That's the one I was thinking of. There's a Bruno Mars song, and there's a bunch of other ones. But yeah, music's super great. Gameplay wise, the game was pretty simple. Like I said, if you've played any of the Mario games, I shouldn't say all the Mario games, but the recent one like Mario 3D, very similar to Mario 3D. Camera angles very similar. Platforming. You do get like gadgets every now and then, not every single level, but some of the levels you'll have like a boomerang you can hit stuff with, or like a grappling hook. And every now and then you can find a box that's got like this weird, I called it a sword, but it almost looked like an umbrella, like that wasn't open, like a closed umbrella. So overall, I thought the gameplay was simple, but it was fun. Next little bullet point here is that there was lots of different skins in this game. First off, they were all free. You didn't have to pay for any of them. And even on the PlayStation Store, there was a lot of like PlayStation exclusive skins that you can get all for free. Like there was like Ellie and Abby from The Last of Us 2. There was Ratchet and Clank and Rivet from the new Rift Apart. Celine from Returnal. So they had a bunch of those free skins in there. Super awesome. And you can earn a lot of them through in-game, just leveling them up, finding all the set pieces. It kind of varied. Some of them had like 6. You had to find 6 of the different items to wear the set. But yeah, I thought that was cool. Brought a lot of variety, and it was a lot of fun. And every now and then I'd get a new one, and my daughter would be like, oh, wear that one. And so I was wearing like a punk rocker or like a dragon. So it was a lot of fun. The next thing is that this is a PS4 game. I didn't have the PS5 game version, sorry, but it does come with a PS5 upgrade, which is really nice. Graphics did look pretty good with that PS5 upgrade. When I first started playing it, I was just playing the base PS4 version, and then I did notice some slight visual upgrades there. So Another thing that I thought was super cool, although I didn't really get to partake in it, is that this is a couch co-op game. You can have 2 players both sitting there. It'll do not split screen, but it'll do like the whole screen. You guys kind of have to stay within the same screen. So not quite like It Takes Two where it does the split screen, but nonetheless, super cool that they added that. I tried to get my wife to play with me a few times, but she just wasn't having it. So, and then last but not least, there is a whole new like world of, what's the word? A whole nother like world section, because it has like 5 different worlds. It's got a 6th world after you beat the game, and it only unlocks after you beat it. And it's got a few more levels. I unfortunately was not able to really play those, as the Dreamer orbs that you collect, you had to have so many, and I'm kind of OCD, so I did all the Dreamer orbs in every single little level. Except for the ones that were 2-player, because you can only do them if you're playing with another person. And so I think I ended up getting like 219, and you needed 220 to unlock some of the levels at the end game. So I wasn't really able to do it, but that's okay. They're all, end game content. You already beat the game. But I do appreciate that they put that in there for those that beat the game but we're still wanting to play more. There was like 8 or 9 more missions right after. So that's going to be it for the things that I really enjoyed. Overall, had a blast with this game, a lot of fun. And then some of the things that I didn't quite like with this game was the DualSense support. Now, maybe this was just me thinking that this was going to be more like Astro's Playroom, because I do remember this was coming out. I don't think it came out at launch for the PS5, but I think it was within the first year. It's 2020, I believe. And for some reason, I just thought it was going to be more like Astro's Playroom, like with the DualSense support, and it really just wasn't. It did like have like the rumble, and then like when you did the grabs or the grapple hooks and stuff like that, like you can kind of feel like the adaptive triggers. But and that, like I said, this is probably just my thought. I thought it was going to be more immersive like Astro's Playroom, and it just wasn't. So it kind of was like a negative, like, oh, this isn't as good as I thought it was going to be. The next bullet point I put here is that the story was pretty generic. But to be fair, I wasn't going into this game thinking that there's going to be a super crazy immersive story. It's pretty much bad guy comes, takes over the whole world or universe, and then you, the chosen hero, is the only one that can stop him. And that's pretty much the story. And you beat him at the end. So pretty generic, pretty simple. But like I said, I wasn't really going into this thinking that it was going to be a super immersive story. But I just wish that there was just a tad bit more, because other than like the few boss fights at each end of the 5 missions, there's really no story in between. It's just you doing the levels. So going on to the next thing, the grab mechanic, specifically when you jumped to grab on stuff, I thought was it was almost like 50-50. Like picking up items, yeah, it was fine. You could pick up the boxes, you could pick up the acorns. But there's like a few missions where you had to like jump and grab onto like a sponge, look like a sponge thing, or different items like that. And there's a bunch of times where I would try to grab on it and I would just bounce off, and I would literally keep losing my lives, because especially towards the end, where a lot of the levels, like if you don't make the landing, you just die, or you fall down onto fire or spikes or whatever it was. And I just felt like the grab and I was doing the same thing, and sometimes it would work and sometimes it would just bounce right off of the edge. So that was kind of annoying. I did have to do quite a few levels just because of that little mechanic alone. The next thing that I would put on the list that was kind of annoying, that made me redo levels, is that there was no respawn of certain items, specifically like the acorns or the batteries. When you're trying to get the acorn in the pot, but you have to kind of backtrack a little bit. You pick up the acorn and you have to do the level again, or you accidentally drop the acorn and it would fall off the edge. Instead of it just respawning, it was just gone. So if you didn't get it into the pot, you'd have to redo the entire level over again to get that spot. Same with the battery. There is this one part where you get the battery and you have to make the jumps, like time them perfectly to get over to the other side. And if you missed it, you would fall, or if you threw the battery, they kind of slid. And there was a few times where I would throw the battery, as I'm jumping through the platforms so I can get there, and it like slid off the edge. And instead of it reappearing, and this was kind of towards the end of the level, I would just have to do the whole thing over again. And normally that wouldn't be a problem, but I was pretty OCD and I wanted to get all the Dreamer orbs, and there was quite a few Dreamer orbs that were either locked in a pot that you had to throw an acorn in, or you had to throw a battery in, or I don't know, just there's a few other things where I just wish that the items would respawn if you accidentally threw them off the edge. Certain things did, like the thing that you pick up, there's like this little like squid thing, and it would light up an invisible floor, and if you threw that off the edge, it would respawn. And I guess that makes more sense, because if that didn't respawn, then you're just stuck. You can't progress in the level. But these other things, I guess you could technically still progress. But yeah, that was just kind of annoying, because I would be trying to redo the level, and if I messed up just once, I'd have to redo it. So there's quite a few times where I redid like the same level like 3 or 4 times, because I accidentally threw the battery off every single time, or I didn't make the platform, or I accidentally threw it over the platform. So that was a little annoying. And that's going to be it for the things that I really didn't like. There wasn't very much to not like about this game. It was super simple, super fun. I really enjoyed this game, especially like when I would come home from work and I didn't want to like invest into like a game that I would have to actually like focus on, especially when I work 12 hours. I'm just sitting there and I just want to relax and just kind of play around. This one was a perfect game, and it auto saves, so I could just jump out anytime I wanted to. Unlike a lot of these bigger games, you have to find a perfect save spot or do this and that. Now, if I were to give this my review out of 10, I would give this a solid 7.5, which doesn't really make sense, but yeah, 7.5 for me, guys. Let me know what you guys thought down in the comments below if you guys have played this game. Like I said, we are doing a giveaway for Sackboy Big Adventure. All you have to do for that one is comment down below what your favorite game was this year and be a subscriber. And that's going to be it, guys. We'll catch you on the next one. Bye.